Ooh. We good? Everybody hear me? All right, cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have the early edition, the Yom Kippur Atonement edition of Office Hours Private Edition. Dan is up. All right.
Morning, Dave.
Hey, good morning, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. Let me get my
I'm gonna bring Jack in and then swap.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning? I'm a wee bit tired. It's pouring outside.
Oh, well, that's why I live here.
The sun's shining inside with your smile.
Oh, well, rain is good luck. It's good chi.
Yes, that's right. What is it they say? We wouldn't have any, if we didn't have any rain, we wouldn't have any rainbows.
That's true.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. What do you have for me this morning and your next day?
Yes. Oh gosh, I can't believe how timely your lesson is about forgiving yourself. Definitely. I've so got to get my hair fixed. One of these days I'll look like a glamour puss, honestly.
Buy one of these. This is my 5:30 edition of Office Hours.
I should definitely. Oh dear. Oh wow. Oh, I've got so much to. I've got a lovely picture of you on my wall here. It's such a smile. Let me show you. I wonder if you'll see it. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it?
Oh yeah, there I am. Look at that, Justin. I'm famous.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get it moving here. We got to get the energy up.
Okay. Oops. Right, here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, I was listening to some amazing music today. In fact, you inspired me when you did the clip when you were talking about your daughters, talking about the music that when you were talking to people when saying, "Have you heard this?" You would change the dial sort of thing, and why do we stick to a bad vibration when we would switch them? And so you inspired me and I've been listening to the most amazing music, and I wondered what you were into. While we're waiting for everybody to join us, I wondered what kind of music you were into, because I've been listening to Steely Dan today.
Beautiful. Well, I think that's a great point for everyone, is that a video I talk about, the analogy of we surround ourselves with negative vibration. It would be the same thing as when you're on a long drive across the country listening to terrible music or just the static, and could you imagine, we all have songs that we don't like. Could you imagine having to listen to that song again and again and again as you drove across the country? No, you couldn't. But yet most of the people in their lives travel through their lives with the same music, the same song singing again and again and again. And it's just as negative. It's just as it affects and impacts us the exact same way. So the idea, like you said, is put on some Steely Dan, right? Put on some Elton John, put on some, for me, Bob Marley or Steel Pulse, put on some Mozart. I don't have a genre of music that I like. I just have vibrational sounds that I like, and it's everything from classical music to reggae to rap to all types of different 50s songs. But there's certain songs that will get me up, get me back up. There's certain songs that get me started, get me back started, and there's certain songs that inspire me. And when I use song, I'm using it analogously towards people, ideas. I watch, read Napoleon Hill. That's a song to me. Course in Miracles. These are all songs, but I think more importantly than the songs I listen to, because that's obvious the way I feel, it's what stations are you listening to every day that you don't like, that are impacting you in a negative way?
Yeah, it's like, why should you tolerate it, really? I was going around the supermarket yesterday, day before yesterday, and all of a sudden I heard do 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 do, and it was Reminiscent by the Little River Band. And honestly, my heart, in fact, I've got goosebumps thinking about it. But I just love that song, and before I knew it, I was at the cash desk, because it was like it had taken me on to this amazing journey, which was it's just the international language, universal language music. And that's why I've got to get my dream to happen. And you're going to help me do it, because I'm going to help you make 1 billion people happy, because of that part of it, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Well, play the right songs. I think this is a great way to start. Let's raise our awareness to what music we're listening to. And there is something magical about frequency and vibration, and practice turning the station. How quickly can you turn the station when you listen to a song you don't want to hear, or that affects you in a negative way? Because just as much as music will elevate you, and vibration and frequency will elevate you and take you places, the music, vibration, and frequency will stop you from getting there as well. And I think that's a wonderful way to start. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good way to start. See, the universe put Dan on hold for a second so we can start with a higher frequency. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Very well. See, your hair looks good. You'd have to put a hat on this morning.
Well, my mother just commented I need to get a haircut, but
I think everyone's moms are commenting that right
now.
Yeah,
it's about that time. I was trying to decide if I want to ask like a mindset question, but I think I want to ask something more specific about dealing with agencies that you might hire, specifically marketing agencies. I've been through 5 at least in the last 6 years. Some of, to varying degrees of success, but the reason I haven't stuck with one is because either you pay these firms and they get rich and you don't.
Yeah,
it's not a good fit. Am I at the point where specifically like Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, should I just dive deep into this and learn it myself because I'm so personally connected to my brand and I want to see what's going on? Or is there a way to know when you've kind of gotten to a point with a firm and you either have to fix it or let it go? Or part 3 of the question is, are there digital agencies that you trust that would work with small brands?
Yeah. So I think the answer is both. And, let's look at everything in your business. The more you know about what people are doing for you, through you, and to you, the better off you're going to be. Now, digital marketing, I believe, is a matter of testing. And so I have a philosophy about digital marketing, including me and Justin, who's here. We had a talk after all these years. He's like, I forget what happened on Friday. He was like, but thank God I'm listening to the results that we have, because I was getting to the point that I didn't know anything. And I felt like, do I know what I'm doing? And I have an extraordinary digital marketing company that I work with that, number 1, I make guarantee their performance, but 2, they teach me what they're doing. So I take the extra effort. I get a video every day. I make them do a 2-minute video every day to tell me, here's what we bought. This is why, this is how. And so it's instructional in nature. So let me recommend you to Chris Chung, or if anyone wants to use him, because I have coached him knowing how the business works to satisfy all those 3 questions that you had, because I had and have had the same exact feelings. I make people guarantee their performance, and because I guarantee my performance. If anybody wants your money back that's sitting out there, just go ahead, call Mikey. You don't have to be in our group. It's not about the money. It shouldn't be about anyone. If you're going to charge or collect, guarantee what you're going to do. Just manage the expectations. But as far as digital marketing, look at it mathematically, everyone, because I'm sure everyone has this question out there. There's 4.4 billion people. This is a brand new platform. How the heck do you know that this content is going to do anything to a selective group? It'd be impossible. So what you want is someone that knows what they don't know. They know the techniques and they're willing to teach you so you can share in the ideas, but also get comfortable what's happening. Why, for example, we had a premise that because of the election, historically, prices rise in digital marketing for end of October, for end of September and October, because
Right.
of all the election money comes pouring in.
Right.
But it really doesn't. What it does is it makes it sporadic, because certain things are more expensive and certain things aren't. Certain times are more expensive, certain times aren't. And so what I've learned is it just creates volatility. It doesn't create a higher price.
Okay.
And so on average, we're paying about the same for advertising. But what if we look at the volatility and figure out, where is it when it's lowest, and when is it when it's lowest? So you want to participate in the digital marketing. Let me give you a recommendation of someone that teaches as you go. Someday you may want to bring it in internally.
Right.
But you can't do that until you learn about it.
Right.
So hire someone that's willing to do it and teach you as they go, so you can learn what's bullshit, what's not, what's real, what's not. Does that sound fair?
That would be awesome. Yeah. Any
Cool.
recommendations you would have are great.
Yeah, we'll send you Chris Chung, his number as well. Mikey's writing it down for me. I see him there. All right. Great
Awesome.
question. That's one, I hate to say it out there, including myself, nobody knows what they're doing. So it's baby steps, test and learn. Baby steps, test and learn.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Great question, Dan. Thank
All
you.
right. You have a great one.
All right. Listen to good music. All right. Next, let's see who's here.
Oh, it's me.
Patty Third today. She's our youngest member. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank
She
you
looks
so
like our
much.
youngest member. I don't think she may be our youngest member.
No, not anymore. Now that you know my real age.
What's the question for today?
I wanted to thank you so much first for doing that for me, writing the letter. That means a lot to me.
Oh, of course. And, applying to those great schools is good. Anyone out there that looks to expand their understanding. My mom always said, if you're not going to invest in yourself, what will you ever invest in? And education, as long as you can afford it, is a great investment in any aspect of your life, no matter how old or how young you are, or even how young you look, Jesse.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my question. So it was interesting. I was reading your book yesterday, the game time decision one, and I realized that as I was writing the statement for the application, I don't know, it was a lot. I wish I I was very passionate about it and excited, and I kind of wish that I was like that for all my blog posts. I sometimes feel like my blog posts are more like chores, I feel like, than something that I really want to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so for everyone, right, what we aspire to do is learn to love what we do, learn to find the light, the love, and the lessons in what we do. And it's a journey, it's a practice. And imagine as you pick out the certain things in your life that you aren't inspired about, that you feel as if it's a chore about, what if you started practicing the muscle that was allowing you to make that process? So I see opportunity when I find something. I always use taking the trash out as my bad karma chore that, for some reason in my life I always had to do. And I use that as my focal point of how to practice building that muscle, because I told myself, if I can learn to truly love, truly be inspired by taking out the trash, I can be inspired by any activity I get paid for or any activity I don't get paid for. And what a perfect time for you to start practicing finding the light, the love, and the lessons, practicing that muscle that exists within you that allows you to be inspired with everything you do. Activity you get paid for, activity you don't get paid for, activity that's routine, activity that's not routine. And one of the biggest inhibitors of our routines, of our enjoyment, of the consistent, persistent pursuit of our potential is consistency. For some reason, the mind doesn't like to do things again and again and again. It finds it difficult to become inspired when you do things again, again, and again. In fact, that's a weakness of most humans, not all humans. People that are on the spectrum, for example, they love doing things again and again and again. It inspires them. It makes them feel good. And so, that weakness put into a different place for them becomes a huge strength, because they're capable of staying focused and doing the same thing again and again and again. that makes it obvious that it's a matter of frequency vibration of the brain. And let's practice using that part of our brain, that mindset, because the more you can be inspired about, the more routines you can be inspired about, the more acceleration, growth, and understanding and enlightenment you're going to have. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I'm also sending you good vibes for that application. Keep up the good work.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Appreciate it. You too. Take care.
Thank you for waking up early. All right. Next up, Kathleen. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Terrific. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. Next question. Last week you were speaking to me about quantitative value and articulating the value. So how does one articulate, or how does one quantify the intangible values? Like so in short, right? Because I'm not selling widgets in one respect. So I have to find another way to quantify the value when I'm seeking sponsorship.
Yeah. So we have to go to the next layer in order to get there. When we're in a more ethereal, subjective area, how do we quantify certain things like this will make you feel good? So let's say, for example, this makes you feel good, or this makes others feel good. How do you quantify that? Right, that's very obtuse, right?
Right.
If I told you this saves you 6 minutes, you're going to tell me, oh, I know how to quantify 6 minutes. I'm paid this per hour. For every 6 minutes I save, I get 1/10 of what I'm paid per hour. That's how I would quantify 6 minutes. But how do we quantify feeling good? Well, I would look and say, you take it to the next level. If this makes them feel good, or if it does this to you, then this will save you 6 minutes, or this will allow you to do something that's quantifiable and easy to do. And the only way that we find that next layer, because I know you're thinking that, well, how do I find that next layer? That's where asking open-ended questions and narrowing it down with closed-ended questions are the key to quantification. So when we say, oh, tell me, what art do you own today? What do you do today? What do you they start explaining what they do today. You're notating all the quantitative value of what they do today. Then you say, oh, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Now we're notating the things that make us equal and appreciating the value that we have that's different. And then what we're able to do is articulate the value of what they're doing today, appreciate and add value to two components. One, what they don't like about their doing and we do better, or two, what they do like and we do differently. And when we can quantify or appreciate, add value to that by asking those questions, we can look at the basics: time, value, and emotion, right? Energy and motion is a currency. A currency is an object of energy we put into a flow to get what we want. If there's an object of energy that we put into the flow to get what we want, we can quantify that. That's why money, gold, silver, different things like that are objects of energy that we put into the flow to get what we want. You combine that with faith, you'll get a higher statistical success in quantifiable articulation of what you're doing. So in your case, you have to take things to the next level by asking open-ended questions, using leading closed-ended questions of what they like, and then being able to ask them, oh, would it help you if I was able to do this for you? Oh, what would you like about that? Oh, okay, great. And you just keep adding up like a tally sheet, like an accountant, all the different areas of time, value, and emotion that allow you then to simply articulate it in the best, most effective way.
Thank you. Thank you. One last real quick question. There's been a time or two where I've tagged you just to let you know other things I'm up to. Like last night, I photographed a bike race yesterday. And I tagged you, but then I took it down and I thought, it may not be appropriate to tag you publicly. Or, is that something that you're interested with your students, like to see the other things that they're up to? It's just another aspect of who I am as a photographer.
Feel free to tag me. I can't always repost everything, obviously, but if you tag me, it brings my attention and I give it that quick look so I see what you're doing. It also helps me with more background and remembering, which, right, remembering is bringing
Well,
everything.
right. If you're dealing with 1,000 people, man, you probably need a few ticklers now and again. So,
and it brings us closer. So yes, please tag me, but managing
Okay.
expectations, I can't post everything or repost them, but I will sometimes if Justin and I think it's a good one for everyone to see. We'll go ahead and repost it as well. Okay.
oh, I don't expect anything like that. I just like, this is just like the way that you process things so quickly. Like, I imagine you can look at something for a few seconds, say, oh, okay, she's doing that too. And that's it. Like, I don't expect a response or anything.
You nailed it.
Okay, great. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot. Have a wonderful week.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Gemma.
Good morning.
So nice to see you.
Great to see. First of all, Gamar Chatima Tova.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I really wanted to say thank you to you and Colleen for the other day. I really, really appreciate for helping me a lot. I actually had an idea. I don't know if it's a good one.
She dropped you at her?
Oh, hey. Do you think it's a good idea to have an election themed GIFSA? But just USA theme. I'm not gonna put like
yeah. I think whatever your beliefs are, but yeah, these are called thematic or timely marketing tools that everyone's paying attention to over the next 6 weeks. And so,
thank you. I'm just like concerned if I put their names on the GIFSA, then that would be really touchy for other people. So I'll just make a theme, a Team USA one, or.
Nothing wrong with USA.
Okay. I don't. Anyway, thank you. That's all I really want to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Right on. All right, my man Manny. Jeremy, the star student, the top of the class.
Hey, I want to know. I just got to play at the Del Mar Country Club golf course. I got invited by a friend.
Best chili. I hope you ate the chili. It's the best chili I've ever had. Del Mar Country Club.
They had it closed. Yeah. But hey, I just know everywhere around here. It was just so fun to just explore in the golf cart while we were playing and looking at the houses. Are there any other places that you recommend me going to kind of dream build? Luckily, I was invited there, but is there any other places
in San Diego?
Yeah.
Why? I would walk from the pier to Crystal Pier, from South Mission Beach to Pacific Beach. I'd walk the boardwalk and look at the ocean, look at the big mansions on the right, look at the ocean, just keep on doing that. I think La Jolla is another place down by the Cove.
We love that.
Yeah. I'm sure you've been there. I think just driving around Rancho Santa Fe, so closer to the farms, golf course as well, and in the village in Rancho Santa Fe down in San Diego is a great place to go. I think on top of Mulholland, I don't know if you've seen this part of La Jolla, Mulholland Drive, Mulholland up on top of the mountain. When you come down La Jolla Boulevard, you make a left up the mountain to the top, Mount Soledad.
Mount Soledad? I haven't been there, no.
Yeah, so you'll see extraordinary homes as you drive up and dream build in that area as well. Those are kind of my old school favorite. There's also by San Diego State a place called Alvarado Estates, which is an older neighborhood, which is really nice to drive through, just to give yourself an idea of the more traditional neighborhoods that are doing really well. But luckily there's a lot of places to build dreams that I think when I'm doing that, I'm looking at nature and material, right? So I'm looking at the currencies of money, the object of energy, that I get into the flow to see, what I can help people provide and give them to make them happy, but also, to listen and hear the ocean, or to look out over one of the most beautiful cities in the world. That inspiration also, it blends the power of what you have and what the universe can provide for you. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is, I mean, you go everywhere pretty much. Bucket list items. I thought you'd just be such a fun guy to just ask,
Yeah.
what
No,
things do you think we should do in our bucket list? Like I had one person say we should go to Maui during whale season and make sure to dive. So that was pretty cool. But wanted
yeah.
to pick your brain and
I'll
just
give
ask
you
some
I'll give you
things.
3, and then when you do them, I'll give you more. So number 1 is the Masters. Don't cry, Justin. I see you back there. You got to go to the Masters. So it is like none
Can
other.
anybody go?
Yeah, you just got to pay.
Oh,
So I'll
yeah.
help you go.
I didn't know. I thought it was.
I'll help
I
you.
didn't know.
Yeah, it's the number 1 bucket list thing to step on, whether you're a golfer or not. Once you get inside Augusta, that's where magic happens. For me, I think going to Curacao, Bonaire, if you dive, I'm a Goodwill ambassador of the ABC Islands, and Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao is extraordinary. I think also, Sydney, Australia, if you haven't been.
We've done that.
Yeah.
Give us another one.
Porto, Portugal, and Porto, Portugal is another great place that a lot of people may or may not know. And if you want to go local, I'll give you 1 extra for bonus.
You give me a bonus, baby. Let's go.
Have you been to Sedona?
We haven't.
Yeah, you got to go to Sedona and hike and go to the Vortex and see the things. I'll give you 1 hotel one that's just for me. I'm on the Olympic Committee, and it's in Colorado Springs. There's an extraordinary resort called the Broadmoor, and if you like to play golf, they have great golf courses at the Broadmoor. But the history and the architecture and the quality of everything and energy in Colorado Springs at the Broadmoor, those are some bucket list items for you to start with.
We haven't done those. I'm excited. And when is the Masters?
Well, this year, it's always the first week in April. But this year, because it was postponed, we can't go this year in November, but it will be back in April next year.
You got to go in 2019 with Tiger?
I've gone for 22 straight years. In fact, this is Tiger Woods' first built American course that I got to go on when the Super Bowl was in Houston. It's called Blue Jack. So
you're an awesome guy, man. I'm so stoked I got to start my morning with you. Have a great one, and thank you so much.
What? I honestly, I've been to these places, and to me, I'm just as inspired to be with all of you, and this makes me feel just as good, if not better. So thanks for coming on, and you especially. So thank you.
Man, thank you. We can't wait to do those things, and
Let
I'll
me
let you
know
know via text. Yes, bye-bye.
You got it. Well, thanks, Jeremy. All right, everyone should have a bucket list of things they can knock off. Know your what. It'll bring on your why. Trust me. All right. What was next here, Justin? Wake up. He's thinking about the Masters back there. All right.
Hey, David. Good morning.
Good morning, Manny. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Thank you for taking time this morning. I have a question here. What are some of the ways that you can use to break down your goals? For example, it goes from an idea into action, and I feel that the step that's missed a lot is planning. So how can you break down a goal into milestones, and what are some of the techniques? Mine are, I have an accountability partner. I like to do the homework, the Meltzer homework every month, and I do planning sessions with a friend of mine. If you have some tips or tricks to continue that you do in your life.
So I use my 5 daily practices in order to take an idea, a possibility, and be inspired, which makes it a probability. And so, go through these 5 daily practices, and then you're asking even more on the other side. So I'm inspired for this idea. How do I make it and materialize it? And it takes, strategy, discipline, and awareness. The strategy is the AAA strategy, meaning spend 80% of your time getting alignment with what you want, your values, and what you need. The discipline is which will be these daily practices, to do them every day, enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. And then the awareness side will come, which will make things easier for you, because not only will the law of Goya, what action do you have to take getting off your ass, but more importantly, the law of attraction will start exponentially aggregating and accelerating what you're doing. So the daily practices are, number 1, every day you need to take inventory of your values, personal experiential, giving and receiving values, and see how they align or synergistic or supplementary to what you want. And don't be afraid of being a hypocrite. Realize that you're where you're supposed to be. You're happy where you are. You're at the right place at the right time, but you're angling towards what you want, right? Remember, I said angling, not directing directly to, because you're not that smart, and neither am I. So we angle towards it the best we can, and then have faith that you'll end up somewhere better by not being afraid of being a hypocrite and changing your mind and realizing that you don't know the best direction and you don't know exactly the best what for you, that there's even better than the what that you dreamed of. Because we can't ask big enough for the universe, and it knows much better than we knew, and it will guide us towards that. So the number one step is take inventory of your values. The next one is to, beyond taking inventory of your values, is to ask. So I think once you know that what, you have to see how you could be of service or value with your what to others, but more importantly, find others who have what you want or similar capabilities to what you want and ask them for the help. Or do they know anyone that could help you? The third one is a pragmatic tool that I use, is everyone should know, I believe studying every day. I do about 3 hours of studying every day. Studying is, I pay attention to and I give intention to the coincidences I want in my life, the combination of the law of Goya and the law of attraction. But I study mainly for a minimum of 10 minutes a day, my calendar, and what I study with is a lens of productivity. How much value am I providing? Accessibility, how accessible am I to others, and how am I accessing what I want? And gratitude, which, especially talking to Jesse about finding the light, the love, and the lessons in what I do. But I study what I have planned, what I don't have planned, which is equally important to what I have planned, and my sleep, right? Remember, my tomorrow starts today. Not just because I talked to Jackie first, who's in Australia, and it's tomorrow there, but my tomorrow starts today because I have an unwinding routine that allows me to prepare myself to wake up at 4 a.m. so I can drive my private group nuts once every 3 or 4 weeks, and 5:30 in the morning do these things. So, be a student of your calendar. Do things now. You waste so much time procrastinating and think. So ask yourself and make a practice of a qualifier of, can I do it now? And if you can do it now, do it. 100% of the things you do now get done. The people that get to their materialization of their dreams are able to get things done. That materialization, you are nothing more than a 3D printer. Okay, so analogy, that's all you are, is a 3D printer. Somebody's giving you a download of what you're supposed to print out, right? And then there's some sort of interpretation, and then you're supposed to materialize it. You're a 3D printer, but you have a lot more capabilities and a lot more materials and a lot more ink or whatever the heck the 3D printer uses. So do it now. You'll print out a lot more in your life. And then finally, the practice of ending fear. The biggest inhibitor of us materializing what we want is we create resistance, void, shortages, obstacles. We accelerate in the wrong trajectory. The reason we do that is we have no control over our ego. So what we want to do is take control of our ego by practicing ending fear, primary and secondary fear, making sure, one, we identify the needs that have screwed us up in the past. The need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, worried, angry, resentful. The list will go on and on. But when we do identify it, then we institute being a ferocious Buddha. We know that our mind, body, and soul are on fire. We're accelerating in the wrong direction. So stop, right? Stop. Then be a Buddha, drop, breathe through your nose, past your eyes, out through your mouth, and then roll in the right trajectory. Statistically, efficiently, effectively make yourself more successful by being a ferocious Buddha, practicing ending fear. So those are the 5 daily practices that I would institute in order to be the 3D printer that you want to be.
Thank you, David. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Manny. Cool. We're off to a great start here. All right. Who is next? Just Bonnie. Whoa.
Good morning. Status. What's that?
That's a celebrity status. How are you?
Yeah, it's just super sunny out. I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Good news. I finally created my first source of recurring income. I think I told you that I wanted to make like downloadable PDFs as part of, so I created 2 yesterday. They're affirmations. They're in my Etsy shop. So that means I made them once and that they just sell and I don't have to do anything. They're automatic downloads. So that was super exciting because it was a lot of pieces to figure out how to get that to work. So my question today is kind of a theory I came up with the past few days about different stages of healing. And because I have been having, so I've had a lot of trauma in the past. I'm not going to recount the individual things that I thought I had healed from. Okay. And we've talked about a couple of these things over the past year, but I'm finding that I'm having emotional trauma responses to situations now that for a long time, I wasn't really reacting to. I'm using all my tools. But so my theory is that in those times that those things are happening, that I use the tools and mechanisms that I knew of at the time and healed from to a certain point the best that I could at the time. And now that I'm on like this spiritual journey and I'm learning these things, I got that book. I think I showed you, actually had the other 3 you suggested already. I feel like maybe the stuff is come resurfacing because although I had healed at one level, I still have healing to do. And now I'm ready for it, even though I don't feel like I'm ready for it. Does that make sense? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's the onion analogy, right? You were able to peel away and then it allowed you to grow and accelerate. Now you're going to peel away another layer of it. One of those books, The Course in Miracles, I've been reading for almost 5 years now. It'll be 5 years in January. And, I read the same passage that I read 4 other times over a period of 4 years. And it means it has a different awareness, a different meaning to me, a deeper meaning. And the same will occur for you with all the continuous healing. That's why we're persistently pursuing our potential. We've never learned every aspect. That's why being open to being a hypocrite is so important, because we may have thought, 2 years ago, I'm fine with that, and then realize there's a whole nother layer. So what we want to do is just enjoy the fact that we've learned to be on that journey, that we've learned to accelerate, grow, and aggregate what we want with compound interest. And you're living proof of that. So rejoice in the fact that you're re-enlightening yourself, but more importantly, that you're raising your vibration, because the key indicator that you're at an elevated vibration is when you can look at something that you've looked at before and it's different. That just means that you have changed.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you, for a while there, I was getting really frustrated. Like I was going backwards. I'm like, why do I have to relive this? Why am I feeling this stuff again? Why is it so strong? Like I thought I was over it. Like all of those thoughts were the first thoughts that went through my head. And then it finally dawned on me that while you're going through something like that initially, if you're not already at this level of, healing, you have absolutely no way to deal with it at this level. Like you just don't have the tools yet. So you just deal with it the best you can, I guess.
Exactly. And that happens in all aspects of our lives. So continue doing what you're doing. You're obviously on a good path. You look terrific. I know you feel terrific. Keep getting better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. One of my star students, just continually to kick butt. I love her. All right. Who's next, Justin? Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you? Can you hear me?
I can. I feel like you're going to perform for me. This is cool.
I might. I am a podcaster and a creative consultant. This is my first time catching a live with you, so I'm so excited.
Oh, so good to hear.
And I feel like I'm so in alignment because I've been doing a study group with A Course in Miracles. And I was just listening to what you were saying to Bonnie, and so absolutely perfect. I love it.
That's all. Oh. What did you do to it? Oh, hold on one second.
Forgive me.
Sorry,
can you hear me again?
Yeah.
I'm teaching second grade. The school's calling. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. So my question is, because I have a lot of clients who also want to podcast like me, and I can tell them all the time that they don't have to be perfect, but I see a lot of people creating content and holding on to it because it's not perfect. So I came to the masters and I want to ask you what you would say to them.
Yeah, I would tell them this. Number one, everything's a practice. So it's like the person who's writing a book and the book has to be perfect and the book never gets out. I had a friend, he finally got his book out after I had 8 books written. And he's the inventor of Pictionary, a really good friend of mine. I would tell them practice is what makes perfect. Nobody's watching you anyway. And that, you know, you need to put up as much content as you can. Here's the person I use to help people understand. There's 4.4 billion people available to us when we do a podcast. There's a woman that pops pimples, right? I promise you that what you're talking about is probably more entertaining, or I should say, there's millions of people that subscribe to the Pimple Popper. Millions, far more than me. I mean, it's incredible. So if there's that many people, the 4.4 billion people that enjoy watching someone pop pimples, you can't be that bad. You cannot be. The thing is, you're just not putting it up enough and putting up enough content, and you're not practicing enough. So you're doing the exact opposite thing. You're getting in your own way. The only way that you get better and the only way you get bigger is to share as much content. If you don't put up, if you're not annoying the people that love you, you haven't even started putting up enough until one of your relatives is like, look, man, you just put too much stuff out there. It's, you know, I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Now I know I'm at the base level of beginning, and that at least I have somebody's attention. But there's so much more out there. Your signal will strengthen by practicing and putting up more. Your spectrum will be more attracted to you, and the clarity of your message, your frequency will be better. All 3 things are the 3 components that make a successful podcast and content for that matter.
Okay, absolutely. That's what I've been saying, but you know, people continue to stand in the way of their own success. So like I said, I wanted to ask you what you thought. So thank you so much, Dave.
You got it. Thank you. And tell them, you know, also to capture as much as they can. So it's capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate their content. So if they tell you, well, I don't know, just capture stuff, right? There's so many different platforms that will take 6 seconds of your content. Everyone has 6 good seconds. So even if they don't want to do a 2-hour Rogan podcast, they can start with 6 seconds of content and post that up and build their way up.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
God, I love 2nd grade teachers. My mom was 2nd grade teacher. Only problem is she still talks to me like I'm a 2nd grader. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Anyway, all right, who's next? Vidya, hi.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Terrific. Welcome.
Thank you. So it's been a while I've talked to you. So I just wanted to give you an update on what I've been doing. So, I have been a big girl from very long time, like, since I was born. So I've achieved a lot of success in my career where I have, I work for a company, but I wanted to lose some, a lot of weight. And I have been doing that lately since, I have a lot of time working from home now. So, and then I got so inspired, and I went ahead and got some health coach certification as well as fasting certification. So it's been working great for me. I have lost more than 60 pounds, and I'm still going on. And I've started helping people too. And I've been posting people. At least I do once a week a video on what I'm doing, how I can help people and all that. But now, I always wanted to start my own business, and now I feel like this is what I want to do, because I've been always struggling to, I knew that I wanted to help people find a purpose, and I feel like now I have found that, and how I can help people get healthy and take care of themselves. And so I wanted to see, now that I'm doing this for free, like a couple of my friends and family, every week I kind of help at least 2 people. So I wanted to see how I can go ahead about monetizing it. And also, now I'm helping only my inner circle, and how I can expand helping other people as well.
Yeah. So you need to start asking, you go from doing it for free where you have a case study of helping other people, and now feel comfortable that the structure of how you help them is scalable. Once that comes up, then start charging. And the way that I started to charging was I wanted to practice the value. So what I did is I told people when I started coaching, look, I'll donate. I'll work with you month to month. You donate money to your favorite charity, and I'll do this for you, but you need to donate a minimum of this amount. And then I got comfortable with them feeling comfortable paying to a charity. And then I decided to make it to my charity. I'm the chairman of Unstoppable Foundation and the chief chancellor of Junior Achievement University.
Yeah.
And then from there, the successes I had kept building and building and building, and ended up starting to charge myself and doing one-on-one coaching, and then building and building and building. And then so many people wanted me to help them that we created these groups and free trainings and applied. So it will grow. I would start by, getting in the habit of seeing the value quantitatively that you provide and allow others to benefit from it. So have them donate to their charity, then to your charity or any charity, and then start charging for yourself. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. So how do you go about kind of building the business? Like, do you think is it a good time to start working on a website and like some kind of lead generation marketing or anything like that?
Sure. Absolutely. It's a better time than ever. So, it doesn't matter what I think, though. What do you think, right? Whether you think it is or it isn't, that's going to be the case. Absolutely, personal development. This area is growing exponentially with everyone working remotely. They now have more time like you're living proof. You have the success model and structure. It's absolutely a great time to build that business.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Dave.
You got it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Who is next? Hey, James.
Hey, Dave. Good seeing you again.
Great to see you. I think I know your question is about family. Is that right?
Correct.
I can read I can read over there. So go ahead. Tell everyone your question.
Well, my question basically is, when you work with family members, sometimes it can be daunting and it can be challenging sometimes. So when do you know when it's a good time to either move on, or should you stay in the game and just work with the family? And just because your homework assignment on forgiveness was phenomenal and it was great. And sometimes in family businesses, you can have some challenges that you have to contend with. So I just want to know, when is it a good time or when do you know when to stay or when to move on?
Yeah. So the problem with doing business with family, or the challenge with doing business with family, is that they have your worst snapshots, right? So they always have good snapshots, but the problem with negative snapshots is they always get the most attention. Everybody wants to watch the car crash. Right? They don't want to watch you walking the stage when you graduated from college. They don't want to watch when you helped somebody out. They don't even remember those snapshots, but they remember the car crash. And they hold on to that when, pressure is put on someone. I would say, what comes out of a lemon when you squeeze it? Lemon juice. What happens when pressure comes into a family business? The negative snapshots come out. And so it makes it more difficult. I think when I'm doing business with a family member, and I've done it in the past and I've never been successful at it. I've tried. And the reason I haven't is my friend Mike Mamula on another show told me, my dad, I started dating a girl and I thought I was maybe going to get married. And he said, look, it's simple. Do they add to your load or do they lighten it? So for me, I make things simple for people. I start quantitatively looking, is this business adding to my load or lightening it? Because sometimes I've seen family businesses where the family members are lightening the load, that, negative snapshots aren't outweighing the loyalty, the trust, the dedication, the common genetic side of what goes on, the inspiration, and other people can't. And so, you got to look and see, is this lightening my load or heavy, or making it heavier? And the only way to do is, look at other opportunities and evaluate it according to your values. I will say, when people have the uncertainty, they should pay a lot of attention to their own values, because those other things become very clear when you start taking inventory every day.
Right. Got you. Thank you, David. And also thank you for connecting me with some people and helping me in mindfulness. You're one of the greatest. Have a great day.
Thank you. Keep it up, brother. Take care.
All right.
Awesome. All right. There she is, all the way from India. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, David. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And it's an amazing session. Many of the questions asked were some questions I also wanted to know. So let's go ahead with mine. So my question is that like when you start off something, right, or even in general life, how do you trust the right kind of people, and how do you establish a bond or create a good team based on trust, right? That is one question that I have.
Beautiful question. So there's a simple rule for this one as well. I have a trust and vet policy. So everyone starts off in a relationship of trust, and then I take accountability for my relationship by vetting people, vetting what they say, vetting. So it's so easy today to vet people and to ask the hard questions, not be afraid that I'm going to offend them by asking them the hard questions and calling them out when I vet them and find out they're lying, overselling, manipulating, cheating me, or whatever, and then make my business decision based on that. So it's a very simple policy of trust and vet. And I had always been very trusting, but I've been too lazy in the past to vet people and ask the hard questions. Now I vet people, and I don't, what they tell me, I vet, I check out, I call other people, I ask, and a lot of people are just afraid to find out that they've wasted their time in a relationship with someone they can't trust. They're afraid to find out. I'm not anymore. I vet everybody, especially those closest to me, people that tell me, oh, I love you, I'll especially vet. People that tell me, because they're projecting something, that they have to tell me that. And, when I vet also, I have forgiveness in mind. So everybody lies, oversells, manipulates, and cheats in some way. But if it's completely, at a varying degrees, I'm gonna fire them from my life, let them fall away from my life, or when I vet them, start feeding them more because it pays off. So vetting, trust first, vet second, but vet. Don't be afraid to find the harder answers. It'll only save you in the long run.
Okay. Thank you, David. But my question is there are a lot of people when you start off anything, right, who come up with you that will give you these services or these kind of things. They sign agreements, but there are many cases where they don't give back the services or what they promise, right? So how do you choose between such people, even if they have a good track record? How do you understand that?
One is
right questions.
One is vetting. Yeah, one is vetting, but two is make them guarantee it, right? So make them guarantee. I only work month to month with people, and I make them guarantee their performance, and I don't pay them up front, and I leverage what I know, and if they don't want to do it, I'll find someone that does.
Finding an alternative, making sure that only after the service, providing them the correct payment or any kind of monetary is the way out too.
Always, right. The value of services rendered diminishes greatly after the service is rendered. So yes, have them pay. Make sure you get them to pay, or you pay. Make sure that you pay them. Make sure that you pay them after services are rendered, if possible, and make sure you get a guarantee. Make sure you mitigate risk by not having long-term agreements. So you want to be able to cancel someone, because a lot of people don't perform and manage expectations on what they promise.
Right. Thank you so much. That's all my question was, and have a great day.
You too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Great week, everyone. Please use the private networking group. Reach out, have people come to Friday trainings. This Friday's trainings on manifestation on Friday. If you miss it, go to Spotify, featured there, and download the playbook. Share the playbook with your friends. And just want to say thank you. We'll be doing an Instagram Live later today at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And then, as always, remember, be kind to your future self, and do good deeds. Have a great day. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Justin.